Welcome to DFS Insights. I'm David Geislinger, and I'm joined by my cousin, David Grant Jr. The teams up on the block are the Philadelphia 76ers at the Utah Jazz.
This is where each of us are going to be giving you our three key players to focus on while creating each of your lineups. David and I are going to give you a quick breakdown of what we like about our three plays, and make sure to stay tuned till the end where we give out two absolutely free lineups.
Yeah, nice. Here we got another Philadelphia game. We just covered them. The Philadelphia versus Golden State, which was a weird game. Embiid, I think, just destroyed that slate terribly.
In the wrong way.
In the wrong way,
sure.
Exactly. That news. But with this matchup, they're going against Philadelphia's going against the Jazz, who happen to be favored. Looks like by 4 points. Over under sitting at about a 233.5. So it should be a decently scoring game. About 115, 120-ish points roughly. The Utah Jazz are currently 10th in the West. Last 10 games are 5-5 and on a 2-game losing streak. Where Philadelphia, surprisingly, is 5th in the East. That's not necessarily surprising, but they're 6-4 in the last 10, and they're currently on a 4-game losing streak. I think that's due to just the onslaught of injuries that they have.
For sure.
Speaking of the injuries, so Embiid has officially been ruled out, so we don't have to consider that next biggest concern here is Maxey. He is a game-time decision. He is questionable. I'm going under the impression that he will play this game, so be kind of speaking towards that. Then obviously if things change, just have those notification turn on, and we'll update in the comments as obviously the news comes out all the way up until basically tip off there. Mountain's been out for several games now, so they've adjusted. Some also people to watch in Batum. He was out last game. He said he's questionable. I'm not sure if he will play. And then also Marcus Morris Sr. here. He is doubtful, so I don't think he'll play this game. He was out last game. Philadelphia is just devastated with injuries now. So expect the people that are playing to get high minutes there in Utah. Really no injuries to worry about that will really affect lineup creation in that aspect. The biggest factor I see here is Embiid's out. Like, where's his usage going? He last 3 games he's at 35 usage, about 30 minutes. So that's the biggest factor I see in this game. Where's that going to go? Yeah, big time. They're so well. If Maxey comes back, it'll be to him. If not, it seems like Tobias Harris is really. He kind of stepped it up last game. He had a nice game, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, only 2 turnovers. So, he definitely did a nice job. And hopefully Maxey does play. And if that is the case, then I could definitely, that offense, he's the heartbeat of that team besides, Embiid. So I could definitely see a lot of it being shouldered by those two for sure. Nice. All right. Anything else? General matchup here before get to talking about these players.
Really, just two quick things. Just that the good news is the last time they played 2 weeks ago or so, Embiid was out in that game. Marcus Morris was also out, and he played about 34 minutes, and Batum was in that game, and he played about 26 minutes. So those are even more minutes to go around to some of these other guys. And, so just really be looking to, see who you think is going to get those minutes and that little extra usage in there. And
you'll see my lineup. I'm pretty heavy on Philadelphia, mainly because they're running out of people to put on the court.
Yeah, I think that was my approach as well. And also they are good
That,
players, not just
yeah.
because of that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah. So heading over here to the players, who do you got as your first key player that's going to take you to victory here?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Lauri Markkanen. With no Embiid, Embiid is a top 5 defender down low, and with him not being in the game, that's gonna open stuff up for Lauri Markkanen big time. They did when they did just play January 6th. He had 33 points, 13 boards. He had 52 fantasy points against them. And again, I think that a big reason for that is because Embiid was not there. So for that defense, and that's just going to open things up for him. He's one of their starters. He's arguably their best player. And since I am going a lot of other Philadelphia people for most of my lineup constructions, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to pick the top Utah guy and kind of go from there is kind of my thought process. What are your thoughts on him, and who's the first guy you got up?
Yeah, Marketing's nice. I mean, really wish you would have came to the Kings, but I didn't want to give up.
I know.
I didn't want to give up Murray for him. So as good as a player as he is, I think Murray has the potential there. But digress. I think he has. I think his floor is where you need it to be, and his upside potential puts him at a very good spot. So I think if you're going to play him, being I think he's sitting at 15K, I would at least need to kind of see him get one of those 40-point games.
Oh yeah,
at least. Sure. He has the potential to do it. The only issue really is that the Jazz. He's the only player right now on the Jazz that averages over 30 points, and it's only 32. Or excuse me, points. Minutes.
Minutes.
And I think he's at 32 minutes. So average, and that's over the course of the last 3 games. I do.
Okay.
The last 3 games. So. I would like to see him get more minutes because obviously that's more production. But he's been pretty effective. So yeah, I don't have any. I think that's a good pick there.
Nice. Who you got as your first pickup on the block?
First pick, I'm going to drop down just one more to the third guy on salary wise, the 14.5 Tyrese Maxey. Like I said, I'm going to assume he's playing. And this guy, when he does play, his usage is insane. So when Embiid's off the floor, his usage goes up 8%. So he sits at a 35.5 usage rate, which is crazy.
For sure.
So with usage, hopefully he's not limited minutes. So I'm assuming if he does come back, he's ready to come back and play. Right now they have him projected roughly about 31 points. Obviously I would like to see him get at least that. Would like him to get to the 40 to 50 range, which I know he can do, but I'm hoping he does play. He is a good facilitator and a good scorer, so that's who I have. And how do you see him? And before getting to your next pick,
if he's in, like you and me both think he will be, I'll be heavily relying on him for sure. Philadelphia can't afford to be slipping in the East. All those teams there are separated just by a game or two, and they can't. If Maxey's able to get out there and go. Like you said, with his usage going up with Embiid off the floor, this guy's a baller. He's a fun guy to watch play. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll have a lot of exposure to him. I think that's a great pick, and I guess that'll kind of bring me over to my guy up with Philadelphia. obviously, Tobias Harris just stepped it up last game. I was thinking of going there, but I'm going to go with my boy Kelly Oubre. I was really expecting him to break out and have one of those 40 fantasy point plus games from him against Golden State. He did get the minutes. He got the 34 minutes, so that's what I was looking for as well. Unfortunately, he only got the 23 fantasy points, but this is going to be another, put it this way. Now, Embiid ended up playing, I think, 29 minutes. So, with Embiid off the floor, and these other guys off the floor, Oubre is one of those guys that just does it all. He fills up the entire stat sheet. He can get you points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. He's a do-it-all guy. And if I can get 30, another 33 plus minute game out of him, I could see him definitely exceeding that 9,500 price tag there. So, I'm going to go with Kelly Oubre. What are your thoughts on Kelly?
Yeah, I like Oubre. It looks like I'm just pulling it up here. His usage definitely does go up decent, about 6 to 8 when Embiid's off the floor. And obviously the other guys are off the floor that are.
Yeah, you do. Marcus Morris plays power forward, small forward, and he's out. And he played last time, and same with Batum.
Yeah, I ran with those guys out, but typically Embiid's the big.
Yeah.
He has 40% usage, so that has to go. But yeah, no, he goes up about 5 to 8% usage, so that's I like that. For 9,500, like, I'm okay with a 23, but I'll need the rest of my other picks to kind of pick up that slack. And I would need him to basically be that person in the flex. I can't, So if I was to put him in the pro, which I know he can be, even star, he needs to have one of those at least 30-point games. He can definitely, make it work. He just needs to get, I think, that shot going early on to get it going. So I think that was the issue. If I remember watching that game, he did miss a few good looks there. So no, I like the pick. My second pick, I'm gonna go switch it over to the Jazz. To Colin Sexton here at 12K. I just think, so he's getting the second most minutes, and that's in the last 3-game average, and that's only 29. I mean, so that's the rotation that the Jazz has, which I'm not a fan of right now, because obviously I would like him to get more. However, his usage is sitting at about about 26. So I do like that. He is projected to roughly about 31 points this game, which he's just coming off a game from New York where he got 34, 15 against Brooklyn. Looks like he had an off shooting night there, only 6 points, but then a 51 against Charlotte. So he does have upside. Looks like he is averaging, about 28 fantasy points throughout the season. So he is the second highest usage also on the Jazz, so the likelihood he has a second most minutes, second usage, so he should be up there. So he did score 36 fantasy points last matchup they had, or 35.6 if you want to get technical. So I have him. I think I'm going to be playing him. Trying to rack my brain lineup, but I think I actually have him star, if I'm not mistaken, in my star pro position, star of the pro position. So obviously I'll be doing multiple lineups where I'll be changing him quite a bit, but with the usage of minutes, I'm going to go with him.
Nice, no, he's again another baller. I'd much rather pay the extra 1,000 and go him over the Jordan Clarkson. That's right there at 11K. And Sexton, they're going to be going against not Philadelphia's full unit. You know what I'm saying? They're missing Embiid. They're missing quite a few of their guys. So I could see Sexton balling out. You know, he's at home. That's another good thing. It looks like they're just getting home from a road trip from New York, Brooklyn, Charlotte. Man, yeah, they've been on a 1, 2, 3, 4. They're coming home from a 6-game road trip. So, you know, it'd be nice for them to be at home. And yeah, I like that pick. I'll be doing the same as you. I'll be mixing him up mainly in the star, a little bit in the pro, possibly MVP, depending on how frisky I'm feeling. It does seem like you said with Utah's rotation being so deep that it's one of those things where the minutes is really the tough spot. So I see the Philadelphia guys getting the minutes, and what you and I both know, minutes translates to fantasy points. So
exactly.
But yeah, that'll take me over to my final pick. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Mr. Mo Bamba, Philadelphia.
Bamba.
Yes, sir. He's had quite a interesting career. I don't know if it's just because he's so tall and more of your traditional center, and the NBA just isn't really fully fit for his game. But I mean, his defense and getting the ball, you know, getting rebounds, putting the ball back, and blocks are his specialty. He's one of those great fantasy points per minute type of guys. I could easily see him getting 18 to 25 minutes this game. And if he does, that'll be a great play over Reed, because obviously Reed's going to start. If this game gets out of control for any reason, I could see Bamba. That's another way Bamba gets some of that extra PT. That's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some extra time. If Bamba can get me 18 minutes plus, I know he's going to produce and I'll be happy. And I'm hoping he'll be lower. He should be substantially lower owned than Reed, since Reed's going to be starting, and Reed has great upside, but so does Bamba at the 6,500. I mean, that's almost, 6,000 is as cheap as you can go. And by going him, it really opens up the other positions to put in some superstars up there. So, I'd say it's a little risky. If you're making one lineup, I wouldn't go there. But if you are making 4 or 5 lineups, I would definitely put him in one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on that? A little bit of a contrarian play, and
I would have to, for that one, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to if Badham's out. Morris he's doubtful, so I'm already chalking him as out. But, I mean, he didn't play against Golden State. I know Embiid played, but he was limping on one leg. Paul Reed had a terrible game. I think he got like 1 fantasy point. No, I'm not going to hold a grudge. But, yeah, so, I mean, for him not to have any minutes against Golden State is, a concern for me. But he would definitely be... Yeah, he would be a play maybe if I'm doing 10 lineups. Yeah, 1 or 2, maybe 1.
I think that Golden State's is a matchup thing, because I mean, dude, he's 7'6", and we all know they run Draymond. Golden State runs Draymond at center, and he just doesn't fit that. And that's even what I was double checking. They got Kessler for Utah. They don't fully, I know Olenek, center power forward. He's a little bit more of a power forward who steps out and can drop the 3. So that's even a bad matchup. But I just...
No, if he gets the minutes, he's definitely producing fantasy points in the minutes. It's just my concern is, will he get the minutes?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to pay attention to, that's more of a...
Make sure, like you said, let's make sure Batum's out and that type of stuff.
And the only thing going into here to my third pick is these are my kind of value plays, and him at 6,500. It's a little risky compared to, I guess, these two guys. And I'm going to start. The first one is this Daniel House.
Oh yeah, Daniel. Yeah, it's yeah. I love House.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Daniel House, he did get 29 minutes yesterday with everybody hurt. And at 6K, getting 29 minutes, I mean, he did only put up 14 fantasy points, but with 29 minutes, he does have the potential there. So, I mean, it does look like he's kind of, his ceiling's about 20-ish, but I can live with getting, 15 to 20 points from a 6K player and then utilize the rest of that extra salary to get those top dogs in places they need to be. So I know he's getting the minutes, so to play like like the Mabamba guy, he does have better fantasy point potential, but he's a lot riskier than say this guy is 6K. When I know if
that's fair.
Batum, Morris is already not playing. All these people aren't playing, and he did get the minutes last game. And then also, I'm going to say it, but I'm not going to pick this guy just because he's going to be like 90% owned. Jaden Springer. He is a 6K player. I'm just bringing it up. He did have his career game against Golden State.
I saw.
I watched. It's ridiculous.
I was so mad.
21 minutes. He ended up with 30 fantasy points. Will he do it again? There's always potential, but I mean, if you look back, he's had one game over 20. This being his second game. Maxi's probably going to be back, so I don't think he'll be getting the time. The 21 minutes, I think Maxi.
That's true.
He'll be taking that away. But like I said, him at 6K and this other House guy at 6K, I think would be my value plays to kind of open up the rest of the slate for those top dogs.
Nice. Yeah. I like that. I like that better than the Bomba play. Especially again, don't forget Korkmaz's down there at the bottom. He did have a better game than House, and again, I'm a big House fan. I've watched him with Houston and some other places, and he can, if he gets hot, he can knock it down. He's a 3-and-D type guy. He's really good. And then Korkmaz, he got 22 minutes against Golden State, and he had 25 fantasy points. He had 19 real points. 2 boards, 3 assists, and no turnovers. I mean, he played phenomenal. So I think the coach might lean on, okay, he had the, I could see him getting a little bit of those House minutes. Oh, I guess House had 29. I could see them maybe swapping minutes. It'll be interesting. We'll have to see how the game flows. I was trying to see what the over-under is, but I don't think they have that out yet.
Over-under is 233.5.
And the
Jazz favored by 4.
Okay, by 4. Okay, then nice. Yeah, that's crazy. Even with all the injuries and everything, and it'll be a up-pace game for Philly. I was looking at the pace, and Utah is the faster team, so it'll be nice to see Philly get out there. And great picks. I like it. I like the value plays. I like everything that's going on.
All right, now what everybody's been waiting for, enough of us jabbering about all the players. Who do we actually pick here in our lineups? Look at the screen here. Your guys' insight, does matter. Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts on the key players in this matchup. Who are your top picks, and which players do you think might be the game changer? We would love to hear from you guys. Feel free to also ask us questions about players we haven't covered or we didn't discuss here. David and I, we do research the entire slate, and we just pick obviously our top plays and talk about them, but we do have the research and the data to assist with any of your guys' players that you think it will potentially set you over. So we're here to discuss and share our thoughts with this growing community, and with that, please make sure you like and subscribe so that way you can stay tuned to all these videos that we have up. NBA season is basically now full in effect here on the channel with NFL basically winding down. We got one more Super Bowl vid to post coming up. About a week or so, and then it's just NBA. So looking forward to it. David, take it away.
Hey, yes, sir. Everybody, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Please put in the comments. Who's your favorite player on the slate? Who are you guys thinking that is going to have the most fantasy points? And why? I always love. I don't want to know just like who you're picking, but I want to know. The education behind it. So throw out a couple of reasons of why you think that guy is going to do really well, and we're all here to help each other make money. So see you guys all at the top. Hope you guys all make a bunch of money, and we'll see you again here soon.